When addressing the proximity of an electrical panel to plumbing, several factors influence the decision to move either the panel or the pipes. Moving plumbing pipes can potentially be more costly and time-consuming compared to relocating an electrical panel. Consider these elements to make an informed choice. First, assess accessibility. Determine if there is sufficient space behind the electrical panel to move it back the required 3 feet. If adequate space is not available, moving the electrical panel becomes necessary. Second, evaluate the cost implications. Obtain quotes from licensed electricians and plumbers. It is possible that an electrician's charge for moving the electrical panel might be less than a plumber's fee for rerouting the pipes. Third, consider the time required for each option. Moving pipes might involve cutting and rerouting, consuming time and potentially causing temporary disruptions to water service. Moving the electrical panel can often be completed more quickly, minimizing inconvenience. Fourth, adhere to electrical code requirements. Electrical codes mandated minimum clearance of 3 feet in front of electrical panels to ensure safety. Modifying the plumbing might not fully comply with these code requirements. Fifth, think about functionality. Relocating the electrical panel may affect its functionality or necessitate additional wiring modifications. In contrast, moving the pipes typically does not impact the electrical panel's operation. Considering these factors, it is generally recommended to move the electrical panel to ensure compliance with the electrical code and to mitigate any potential safety hazards. Consult a licensed electrician for an accurate estimate of the cost and time involved in moving the electrical panel. Additional considerations include the proximity of the pipes to the electrical panel. If the pipes are not in immediate proximity, negotiating with the electrician to move the panel a shorter distance, such as 18 inches, might be feasible. Before making a final decision, it is advisable to obtain multiple quotes from both electricians and plumbers to compare costs and services. By carefully weighing these aspects, a well-informed decision can be made regarding whether to move the electrical panel or the plumbing pipes to ensure safety, code compliance, and cost-effectiveness. Remember that electrical codes are in place to ensure the safety of people and property. Maintaining proper clearances around electrical equipment is vital for safety and for allowing access for maintenance and repairs. Also, consider the age and condition of the existing plumbing. If the pipes are old or corroded, moving them could create additional problems. In this case, it might be better to move the electrical panel, which will have less impact on the existing plumbing system. When selecting an electrician or plumber, be sure to choose a licensed and insured professional with experience in similar projects. Check their references and read online reviews to get an idea of their quality of work and customer service. It's also a good idea to get a written contract that outlines the scope of work, timeline, and payment terms. This will help protect both you and the contractor in case of any disputes. Furthermore, consider the long-term implications of each option. Moving the electrical panel might require additional wiring or modifications to the electrical system, which could add to the overall cost. However, it could also provide an opportunity to upgrade the electrical panel or add new circuits to meet your current or future needs. Moving the plumbing might require modifications to the water supply lines or drainage system, which could also have long-term implications. Think about how each option will affect the value of your home. In most cases, complying with electrical codes and ensuring proper safety will increase the value of your home. Moving the electrical panel to a more convenient location or upgrading the electrical system could also add value. However, if the plumbing is moved in a way that is not aesthetically pleasing or that creates problems with water pressure or drainage, it could decrease the value of your home. Ultimately, the best decision will depend on the specific circumstances of your home and your budget. By carefully considering all of the factors discussed above, you can make an informed decision that will ensure the safety and functionality of your electrical and plumbing systems. Remember to consult with qualified professionals and get multiple quotes before making any commitment. Electrical work should always be performed by a licensed electrician to ensure compliance with codes and safety standards. Plumbing work should be performed by a licensed plumber to ensure proper installation and prevent leaks or other problems. By following these guidelines, You can avoid costly mistakes and ensure that your home is safe and up to code. In addition to the above, make sure that any work performed is properly permitted. This will ensure that the work is inspected by a qualified inspector and that it meets all applicable codes and standards. Permits are typically required for electrical and plumbing work, especially when moving or altering existing systems. Failing to obtain the necessary permits can result in fines or other penalties. It can also create problems when you try to sell your home in the future. Potential buyers may be hesitant to purchase a home with unpermitted work, as it could indicate other underlying problems. When you hire a contractor, make sure they are responsible for obtaining the necessary permits. They should be familiar with the local codes and regulations and should be able to guide you through the permit process. If you are unsure whether a permit is required for a particular project, contact your local building department for clarification. They can provide you with information about the permit requirements and the inspection process. Obtaining the necessary permits is an important step in ensuring that your home is safe and up to code. It also protects you from potential liability in case of accidents or other problems. Take the time to research the permit requirements and follow the proper procedures to avoid any complications. Another important consideration is the type of electrical panel you have. If you have an outdated or unsafe electrical panel, such as a Zinsco or Federal Pacific Electric panel, it's recommended to replace it as soon as possible. These panels have been known to have safety issues and can pose a fire hazard. Replacing the electrical panel will not only improve the safety of your home but also increase its value. A new electrical panel will be more efficient and reliable and will be able to handle the electrical demands of modern appliances and electronics. When replacing an electrical panel, it's important to choose a licensed and experienced electrician who is familiar with the latest codes and standards. They will be able to properly size the new panel to meet your needs and ensure that it is installed correctly. They will also be able to dispose of the old panel safely and responsibly. Replacing an electrical panel is a significant investment, but it's one that can pay off in the long run by improving the safety and value of your home. Don't wait until there's a problem to replace an outdated or unsafe electrical panel. Take action now to protect your family and your property. Consider the amperage of the panel and the service. Standard residential services can range from 100 amps to 200 amps or more. The size of the service determines the amount of power that can be safely delivered to your home. If you're planning to add new appliances or electronics, you may need to upgrade your electrical service to accommodate the increased demand. An electrician can assess your current electrical needs and recommend the appropriate size service for your home. They can also upgrade your electrical panel and wiring to meet the requirements of the new service. Upgrading your electrical service is a complex project that should only be performed by a licensed electrician. They will need to coordinate with the utility company to disconnect and reconnect your power supply. They will also need to ensure that the new service meets all applicable codes and standards. Upgrading your electrical service can be a significant investment, but it's one that can improve the safety and functionality of your home. It can also increase the value of your home and make it more attractive to potential buyers. Don't overlook the importance of grounding. A properly grounded electrical system is essential for safety. Grounding provides a path for electricity to flow safely to the ground in the event of a fault or short circuit. This helps to prevent electrical shocks and fires. An electrician can inspect your grounding system and ensure that it is properly installed and functioning correctly. They can also upgrade your grounding system if necessary. Grounding systems typically consist of a grounding rod or plate that is buried in the ground and connected to the electrical panel with a grounding wire. The grounding wire should be properly sized and connected to all electrical outlets and appliances. A properly grounded electrical system is a critical safety feature that can protect you and your family from electrical hazards. Make sure your electrical system is properly grounded and that it is inspected regularly by a qualified electrician. Think about arc fault circuit interrupters or a size. A size are a type of circuit breaker that can detect arc faults, which are a common cause of electrical fires. Arc faults occur when electricity jumps from one wire to another, creating heat and potentially igniting nearby materials. SIs are designed to trip the circuit breaker when an arc fault is detected, preventing a fire. SIs are required by code in many areas, particularly in bedrooms and other areas where people sleep. If your home doesn't have SIs, it's recommended to install them to improve the safety of your electrical system. An electrician can install SIs in your electrical panel and ensure that they are functioning correctly. SIs are a relatively inexpensive safety device that can provide valuable protection against electrical fires. Consider installing SIs in your home to protect your family and your property. Also, be sure to examine ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs. GFCIs are another type of circuit breaker that can protect against electrical shocks. GFCIs are designed to trip the circuit breaker when they detect a ground fault, which occurs when electricity leaks from an appliance or electrical system to the ground. Ground faults can be dangerous, especially in wet or damp areas. GFCIs are required by code in bathrooms, kitchens, and other areas where water is present. If your home doesn't have GFCIs in these areas, it's recommended to install them to improve the safety of your electrical system. An electrician can install GFCIs in your electrical outlets and ensure that they are functioning correctly. GFCIs are a relatively inexpensive safety device that can provide valuable protection against electrical shocks. Consider installing GFCIs in your home to protect yourself and your family.